And we're talking all things travel today. We're back with Ginny Maurer from Cruise Planners. Now, your name is Cruise Planners, but you do anything and everything, and it doesn't have to be a cruise, right?
That is correct. Any worldwide travel.
Okay. All right. We are talking about travel insurance. So when do we need travel insurance and when can we get by without travel insurance?
So 99% of the time you're going to need travel insurance. I say domestically would be the one time that you may want to forego purchasing it, but people don't realize that it covers so much more other than just whether you're sick or not. But whether you're sick or not, they don't realize that most of your health policies, U.S. health policies, do not cover you out of the United States. But it covers things like flight delay, lost luggage, whether someone gets sick on the trip or before the trip, or even a family member that might get sick and that's not traveling with you.
I know we always get this thing of people say, you know what, they've lost my luggage. What rights do I have if, they're waiting to get you their luggage? And usually you have the right to go and buy a few things to get by and then be able to then get that back to the airline.
That is correct, but not always. Airlines are becoming a little bit more strict on that. So again, and if you need something right away, you want to make sure that you've got that insurance to cover it.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about COVID testing policies. What's happening now? I know it kind of changes like week to week.
It does change week to week, changes day to day, and it even changes from where you're going. So it could depend on, some of them are telling you need a COVID test, whether it's a PCR, some are antigen. There are more and more home tests that are being accepted, but not always. There are even home tests that are actually proctored. You can log in online and a nurse watches you, take it, and it goes from there. But it does depend on where you're going. Every single place is different.
All right, so this person is local and they say, is it too late for me to book a weekend trip to the beach in October? And October is next week, but.
So again, depending on the beach, depending on what you're looking for, are you looking for a house that has 4 or 5 bedrooms? Then it might be. If you're simply looking for a hotel room, a nice quick getaway, we can probably find you something.
Gotcha. This person says, I'm a 60-year-old female and I love to travel, but I don't have a companion to go with. Are there safe travel options for me?
Absolutely. And that is, again, a perfect time to use a travel professional. There are even some groups that or some companies that will do trips designed just for singles, or I say singles, not wild, crazy singles, but solo travelers.
Gotcha. And I'm guessing, tours that are a little bit more structured would be much better than something like I'm just going to book it by myself kind of thing.
Yes, absolutely. But even then, you want to be careful that you aren't in a situation, some people would feel uncomfortable if it's maybe, say, all couples, that they might feel like the third wheel. So a lot of times, and I personally work with a group that is just solo travelers, and we like to put together trips that they all want to do together.
This person says, I just checked flights to Seattle and they seem to be really cheap. I saw one in October for $150. Can this really be true?
Well, when you're looking online, it is not always true. There are so many variances and some what they call basic economy, where you do not get to choose a seat, but you also don't have a lot of rights with that. So it's very important to look at all the details of the trip.
If you don't mind not having a carry-on or mind not picking your seat, sometimes that $150 works. You just got to make sure that you are actually going through a reputable third party if you're not going directly to the airline.
That is correct. Yes, absolutely. And then also, what are their cancellation fees? Because even if you're going through a third party, the airline might say, well, we're waiving change fees or cancellation fees, but the third party may not.
That's good to know. This person says, do you have to renew a passport? And yes, you do. I think it's every 10 years or so.
Depending on the age, yes, it's generally every 10 years.
And it's something where you have to have it to go out of the country. If you're flying domestically, you don't need to have it. All right, so this person is asking about trips to New York. And so they said, okay, what do I need to know if I'm going to New York?
So one of the important things to know in New York is, while you can get there, Most hotels are requiring that you might even have to have a vaccine or at least a COVID test to stay in their hotel. The other important thing is most of your shows, your nightclubs, your restaurants, your bars are requiring proof of vaccination to actually come in. I'm seeing that more and more with some of your cities. I know Nashville is that way.
If you missed any of this, this is going to be in the Two Wants to Know section.